I think RGBLink has just announced a product that's going to revolutionize the live streaming setups for a lot of churches, for podcasters, for a lot of ministries. And today we're going to look at it because I'm super excited about this product and we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to jump in and look at it. So let's take a look at this new product from RGBLink. Now this is very similar in look to the Rodecaster Pro 2, but with a lot more features. And once this video gets done, we're going to talk about those features because this is super exciting. This is like an all-in-one solution for a lot of live streaming setups, a lot of live streaming applications, all in one device. And it looks like a very stylish device. It looks like a device that is well thought out and well designed. We're going to take this kind of step by step and look at this video closer. But before we do that, I'm going to jump over and we're just going to go through this because this is the RGBLink. They're calling it the Mini MX. It's a streaming video mixer. This is kind of the Rodecaster Pro 2, but it's also a capture card. It's also a video switcher. It's an audio mixer. But the next coolest thing, and one of the reasons I think this is going to be employed in a lot of churches, if you notice the controls, they have a zoom control on the left. That's a zoom, rock. And then they have a rocking trigger thing. And then they have a joystick, which is just thumb-sized joystick, but it's on the right-hand side. And that is for controlling PTZ cameras. And then you have the smart pads over here on the right. You have multiple banks of smart pads, so you're not just limited to 8. But there are the smart pads for your previews, your presets. And I'm guessing that you'll also be able to trigger sounds, maybe even trigger videos and things like that from those smart pads. But let's go through and look at some of the things here. It does have a screen on the front, so you can use the screen actually built in the device as the multi-view. But if you look closely, it also has a multi-view port on the back of the device. So you can use the multi-view on the screen, but it also has a multi-view HDMI output so that you can put it on a larger screen and see things a little bit clearer. But it also has a second HDMI output, which is program out. And this is going to be good news for a lot of people because we get a lot of requests for people looking at like the Hdmi Pro kits that we sell on our sites. And if you want a complete live streaming setup for your church in a kit, you can go to churchsetup.com. We sell all different kind of kits at all different kind of price ranges. If you're looking at the Hdmi Pro, it only has one HDMI output, which you need for multi-view to see what you're doing. And we get a lot of requests from churches saying we want to show the video in an overflow room. Or, we want to put it up on the screens and have like an IMAX situation. And in those cases, you have to upgrade to the Hdmi Extreme to get that additional HDMI output. This one will allow program out to be shown on an external screen. And I imagine you can use an HDMI distributor and distribute that to as many screens as you want. PTZ control. This is so amazing. In this device that has everything that you would need. It has the audio mixer, the video capture card, the switching capabilities for the video cameras. It also has PTZ camera control using the Visca protocol, which is the best protocol. Some people use NDI, but for most churches, they're using Visca protocol anyway. And so you can connect your PTZ cameras and get control of them through that little joystick, which is like a fingertip controlled joystick. Now, some people won't like that because it's not as precise as grabbing a hold, of a full-size joystick and moving it around and using it kind of like you're flying an airplane. But what we have discovered in most churches is that people don't actually use the joystick for manual movements that much. They do it, if the minister is walking back and forth and is kind of predictable, some people can follow and it looks really good. But in most cases, they're moving and then they're staying in a static shot until they have to move to another shot. And presets are always better to use in those situations so that you don't have to have manual control. And so, as much manual control as you need over the cameras, using that fingertip joystick is probably more than enough for most churches. You can store 16 presets on it, which means that you can, 16 presets is more than most people use. Most people use 5 or 6, maybe 3 per camera, but it just depends on your use case. But they also have a mobile app, so you can go remote and control this remotely. Now, I don't know from this, again, I have not been able to look at this and actually use it on my own, but it would be interesting if the remote device allowed you to see the multi-view as well. You can see the image on the computer there. It has the space for the multi-view, but I don't know if you can actually see that. That's the downside of managing, like the Hdmi Pro. You can manage it with an iOS app called Mix Effect, and then there's Mix Effect Pro. And you can go through and control the ATEM, but you can't see the multi-view on the device. And so it makes managing it a little bit more difficult if you don't have a way to see multi-view. There are ways around that, of course, but generally speaking, that's how it is. And so it'd be interesting to see if this has multi-view as well on the mobile app. It has layers, so you can do keying out, you can do overlays and things like that. It's the touch screen, so you can select any source on the screen and move it over. And so it's kind of like if you've ever seen the YOLO box, the way it does overlays and touchscreen and everything, it seems like they've taken the page out of their playbook, and it looks like this does a lot of things very similar to like the YOLO box in terms of overlays and the layers of the video. But it also has audio. So the ATEM Mini has audio, the YOLO box has audio. All switchers that are encoders have an audio input so that you can mix that in with the video. However, this takes it a little step further in that you have two XLR inputs on the side. You have then all the HDMI inputs from your cameras or whatever is bringing signal through HDMI into the device. And you can basically control all of those and mix them live. So this is a great application for podcast studios. It's basically the Rodecaster Pro 2, which is sitting on my desk right here, but on steroids, with, you know, maybe fewer XLR channels, but still. It will encode in H.265, which gives you higher quality, lower bandwidth needs. You can connect it to a laptop over USB. So if you want to use OBS, you want to use vMix, Ecamm, you can do that with this device and just send the video over to them. You can live stream directly from it. Looks like you can do vertical layouts with this. You can record straight to an external hard drive over a USB-C connection there. So you can record directly to that. And it looks like you can record 80 megabits per second, which is a high bit rate. So you get that high quality video. And also when you're capturing, it does 4K, I think 4K 30 or 4K 60. It does chroma keying. It's got, like we talked about before, layers. So you can put a layer, like an overlay would be a layer on top and then the videos underneath. If you have it keyed out, there's going to be something behind them. So that's another layer. And so it does have the layer sophistication that, you know, the higher end switchers would have. And then you've got all the details here. Let's go back to this and just take a closer look. You can see the sliders. Now that the sliders are very much like the Rodecaster Pro 2, laid out almost identical. You have the mute buttons, you have the green solo button so that you can listen solo. But then if you look at the top left of this image here, you'll see the volume knobs, and we'll see if we can pull those up a little bit clearer here. So there we go. So these volume knobs are controlling the volume of the HDMI audio. So if you have a camera plugged into input number 1, for example, whatever audio that camera is bringing in, you can control the audio of that device right there at your fingertips. Where this is bad is if you don't use audio on the camera. You would these just don't do anything, right? You would turn them down and just leave them. But if you, like I said, had like 4 cameras on 4 different individuals, all with their own microphones, rather than running those microphones into a mixer and then bringing it into the live stream, you could actually run their microphones into their individual cameras and then mix it for the live stream on the camera. You could do this with lapels as well, you know, connect the lapel mic to their cameras. And then you have, you know, when person 3 is speaking, you could adjust his volume without impacting the volume of everyone else while they're speaking. So you get audio control of all the HDMI signals. Let's back up and see what else we see. You've got 2 XLR inputs there, and let's get the thing out of the way. You've got a headphone jack, and then you've got, it looks like 2 TRS things, and I don't guess the playhead's gonna go away so I can read that. Mic 1, mic 2, and then you've got a TRS jack for mic 3. And then you have this thing right here is for your monitor. So that's where you plug in like your studio monitors. As you come up here, you can see you've got the on air, which that red button at the top, that's going to be the button that you push to go live, you know, start streaming. You've got a menu button there in green, and then you've got the pan and tilt control there. So that will control your panning and tilting. Zoom is on the other side in a separate kind of rock. I don't know what you call those, a rocking switch. And then you've got right here, you've got some preset buttons that it'll probably show larger later. And then this is kind of scrolling through the back. So you have USB control, you've got a playback control, you've got the Ethernet connection to the internet, program out for your projector or whatever, your multi-view output. And then you've got 4 HDMI inputs. And I believe those capture 4K 60. I saw that somewhere, but I'm not sure. Maybe it says it on this video, but I believe that captures in 4K 60. However, if you're recording or live streaming through this device, I think it's going to crunch that down to 1080 to live stream. And when you're recording, it only does 80 megabits per second, if I read that right a minute ago. So maybe that's downsampling it as well and recording only in 1080. However, it can capture 4K 60. So I imagine if you connect this to your computer through USB, that OBS or whatever would be able to receive those 4K signals. But again, this is brand new, so we don't have all of the questions answered yet, but you get 4 inputs. So you can have 4 cameras coming into this, and then it's USB C powered. There's the rocking zoom switch. You can see zoom in and out, which is on a lot of joystick controllers today anyway. So with a joystick controller, you would normally go like, you know, you would twist right and left to zoom in and out, and then you move up and down to tilt, and you move left to right to pan. But most joystick controllers today are including this rocking trigger, rocker, maybe they call it a rocker switch or something, but they put that on there as well because a lot of people like to zoom with the other hand while they're doing panning and tilting movements with the other hand. So that's on there that makes it very simple. It's got a T-bar. So basically what a T-bar is it's a transition you can control, a transition. So most of the time people are either cutting, which is a straight cut, instant cut, or they are fading over like 1 second or half a second to the other camera. So if you're switching from camera 1 to camera 2, it's like a really quick fade. That's what most people are doing. However, if you've ever seen the video footage where they have, it's almost like it's stuck and you're seeing 2 different images of the same thing. And so, you know, usually when someone's singing, they'll show like a full body shot off to the left. And then on the right, they'll have like a close up of their face, and you can see them from 2 different angles at the same time, kind of overlaid over each other. What is happening there is that they're framing up those shots with the cameras, and then they're just fading in and doing a transition, but stopping halfway through. So you're kind of transition between the 2, and they just sit there together. So this T-bar is in the middle. That's kind of what's happening. It is showing a mix between one camera and the other camera, and you haven't transitioned through yet. However, you know, if you want to control the speed of a transition, you want that really slow fade, you do that with a T-bar. But it's really interesting that they put that in. And so that's how you control your transitions. I'm interested to see if you can program one of these buttons over here to actually trigger a transition. Like with the ATEM Mini Pro, you have cut and auto, which would do a slower transition. Cut does an instant. Be interesting if they have a cut button that I haven't seen yet, but that's what the T-bar is. And then it's got this screen. You can see the audio levels. You have a multi-view there. It's like everything. You've got really high quality sliders, and that's the device. I am super excited about this. I think it's going to, most churches are only using like 3 cameras anyway. A lot of churches, you know, churches that are going 5, 6 cameras, they're going up to like an ATEM Mini Extreme or higher for their mixing needs. But this, the ability to do audio, the ability to do video, the ability to control PTZ cameras, all from one device, and have a multi-view there too. So you could literally, if you want mobile, this is a device you can take with you wherever you go. Or if you want stationary, it's going to take up very little real estate. Even if you have like a 24, 27-inch monitor connected to it, you're talking about very little real estate to do a lot. So in video studios for churches, in video studios for schools, education, event venues, anything, this, if it delivers on quality, that's kind of the end result there. If it delivers on quality, This is going to be an amazing device that I really can't wait to see. I can't wait to play with. The pricing is going to be right around $1,300, so it's a little bit more, quite a bit more than like an A10 Mini Pro, which is currently at $295. But when you're talking about a Rodecaster Pro 2 with an A10 Mini Pro, you're looking at like $900 and something dollars, plus a joystick controller for your PTZ cameras, which is another $650. You can see where getting all of those into one is not only going to save you money, but it's going to make everything just so easy because one person can run everything. And they have everything right at their fingertips with a touchscreen, with overlays built in. I mean, and I believe you can actually trigger video plays from an external hard drive. So you plug that in, you can not only record to the hard drive, but you can play videos from it. And so it really is looking to be an all-in-one solution. And I think if this delivers on quality, it's one of the complaints I had about the YOLO box way back in the day. And if you look over here, I've got 2 new products from YOLO box sitting on this table back here. I'm going to be reviewing those soon. So this is outdated information probably, but the original YOLO box, it was really, really cool and it did a lot of cool things. But the video quality, it seemed like the bit rate was low. It seemed like it crunched everything and just made the video footage look cheap. And so I'm interested to see if YOLO box has updated that, upgraded that. But with this device, I'm hoping that it's really good. I'm interested to see how this performs when it comes to the quality of the audio, when it comes to the quality of the video. If the quality is there, and it's going to be interesting to see where this takes the live streaming industry in terms of technology, because this is a game changer if the quality is there. So I wanted to let everyone know about this because when it comes out, we're going to test it. If the quality is there, we're going to build a lot of live streaming setup kits for our site, churchsetup.com. We're going to be selling this. And I think, you know, right now the ATEM line is by far our best seller. The A10 Mini Pro, the A10 Mini Extreme, the SDI versions, they're our best seller. This is going to revolutionize that whole space and at a very affordable cost, $1,300, which replaces a lot of different things. So without saying everything over again, I'm super excited about this. When it comes out, we're going to test it. We'll give you an update, but I wanted to let you know this is coming and get your thoughts. Are you excited about this? Is it something that you think that you could use in your production studio? Do you have a podcast studio that you think you could use this in? I would love to hear your thoughts. And so leave them in the comments below. Also, if you're looking for any kind of live streaming setup and you want an all-in-one kit where you don't have to go and find what is compatible with what and which camera goes with this controller and which ones, if you just want the kit, you want to take it out of the box, plug it in, you can come to churchsetup.com, check out our products and let us know if you have any questions. I hope you like this video. I hope you're excited about this product, as excited about it as I am. Maybe not, maybe I'm just a gear nerd, but super excited about this. And I can't wait to make another video where we're testing this and seeing how it performs. So stay tuned for that video. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell or whatever steps they're putting on YouTube that you now have to jump through to actually subscribe. Go ahead and do all that so that you'll be informed when we launch this new item. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and can't wait for that video. Anyway, this is Ryan Scott from churchsetup.com. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.